Hey Choppers, welcome to another edition of Logan Chops Reviews, and today we have a twofer for you. Yes, that's right, you're going to get two videos in one. You're not only going to get a run through and review of BARPIG, which was on Kickstarter back in 2017, but you're also going to get a preview of the expansion, the standalone expansion, After Hours. Now, you don't need BARPIG, the base game, to play this. You can play After Hours as a standalone game, or you can add it into your BARPIG game that you got back in 2017. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the cards from the base game, and then we're going to go ahead and show you some of the new stuff in the expansion that is coming up today. One of the first things from the base game, from the Kickstarter, is this green die right here that has a Stein as the number 1. I'm not sure if this is going to be available in this new Kickstarter, but I do know you will be able to order a copy of the base game through this Kickstarter, so you might possibly get this die. Also available that us backers got is this gold coin right here. It says BARPIG. We got as a first player token to let everybody know who has rolled last. In the base game, you get these game setup rules, or double-sided cards, and alternative rules. We really don't need this right now. We won't be covering this, so I'm just going to set that off to the side. But the game sheet is here, and I have heard that there is going to be an updated sheet. It was not, or updated card. It was not provided to me with the expansion, but it's okay because I looked over the PDF, and the rules are basically the same with one little change, which we will go over. Now, the ultimate goal of the game is to get to level 5, which is easier than it sounds. So, at the beginning of the game, everybody is going to get one of these bar tab cards, which you're going to use to keep track of your drinks. So, we're going to go ahead and just throw one of these down on the table, and it goes like so. Now, this card is used to keep track of the amount of drinks that you either take or give in the game, depending on if you are buying or recharging item cards, which we'll go over in a minute. The card you put underneath this card is your level card, which starts off at level 1 and goes all the way down to level 5. And it also tracks your sober points right here. You can see whenever you get to -4, you are blackout drunk, and you'll have to discard all items, discard your character, take a new character card from the character card pile. Your bar tab remains the same, but you restart at level 1. And that is the one change that is on the game setup and rules card. This says you restart at level 1, but in the new rules, it says you lose 1 level whenever you go blackout drunk. So you don't reset the level 1, you just lose 1 level. So we'll go ahead and we will put that card underneath here, and everybody's going to start off at level 1, and then we'll keep track of our drinks like so. Once everybody has their bar tab and their level cards down, they will get to pick one of the characters, and these are going to be shuffled out and dealt out randomly. We found it's the best way, because if you let drunk people try to choose their own card, they're all going to try to choose the same card, and it doesn't work out too well. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these cards we have here. We have like the Barbarian, which has an ability called Siege the Castle, and it tells you to announce a type of structure, for example a castle. All other players point to an object in the room that they would use to attack that structure and explain how. The worst choice, decided by you, loses 1 drink and 1 sober point. And a lot of these, or all of these characters, not a lot of them, all these characters have a different ability. Like the Glass Assassin right here has blind backstabbing. All players close their eyes and point to another player using both hands. Players, ties included, with the most points against them lose drinks equal to the number of fingers pointed at them and 1 sober point. Also, the whisking. These names, as you can see, are based off of drinks. Whisking has an ability called Royal Decree. Select 2 players who must dance for your favor. Worst dancer, decided by you, loses 1 drink and 1 sober point. So everybody shuffles these up and chooses one at random. We're just going to go over the Barbarian here, and we'll set that on their card, showing 10 drinks left on their bar tab. And then once everybody's done that, we are ready to begin. Well, almost ready to begin, because we still need to get items, the bulk of the game, this big thick deck here. And I don't know if you can tell on the video, but these cards are pretty sturdy, which is good for a drinking game. They won't dissolve if anything gets spilt on them, but they aren't too glossy, so the stuff will wipe away easily if you get to it real quick. But if it sits on there a little too long, it might be a problem. But these items will be shuffled up And then everybody will be dealt one random item. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these and how they're set up. They have a number in a little flask or tankard there in the top. This number will decide whether you will be adding or subtracting stuff on your bar tab, and we'll go through that a little bit when we get to the market phase in a little bit. And they have different abilities that you can use. You can see right here where it's got the cliche lightning strike. Before a player uses the power, force that player to temporarily take a new character card not in play at random and use that new character's power once. This costs 1. You got ones that cost 2. Ones that cost 3, like this cloak of douchebaggery right here, steal a player's turn. You get their level up and use their character's power instead. It's level 4 Snake Eyes right here, or the 4 costing Snake Eyes. It says choose the outcome of any dice immediately after it's rolled. And of course the dreaded time to go home. Whenever anybody draws a time to go home during the game, they have to lose their character, take a new character, not in play at random from the stack, but they get to keep their level, drinks, and sober points, and then they discard this card. So let's go ahead and shuffle this up and give our Barbarian one random card. And then these go into the middle of the table. And now we are ready to start. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and grab the die at the beginning of the game. Everybody is going to get to roll this die. On subsequent turns, whoever was the last player to actually get the highest die roll and get the token and gain a level will not be able to participate in the die rolling, but will participate in actions afterwards. So beginning of the game, everybody rolls a die, and whoever is the highest roller gets to go first. What they're going to do is they're going to adjust their level card to level up. Right there, you can see our Barbarian has leveled up to level 2. And then they will read off their character's ability for everybody to participate in and do. So, announce a castle, or type of castle, or type of structure, sorry, and all other players must point to an object in the room that would they would use in that to destroy that structure, and explain how. Let's see, if we were looking around this room, let's say I chose a structure of an outhouse, and somebody decided that they see over here that they want to grab Gothy's pitchfork that she has over here. Actually, it's a trident, but we'll just say pitchfork if it's in the room. Okay, so once they have decided what they're going to use to attack the structure, so this person has chose Goldilocks' trident right here, they have to describe how they are going to use it to destroy the structure, and I've chosen an outhouse. And then the worst possible explanation is going to lose 1 drink and 1 sober point. And they'll keep track of it on here, sliding their character up and down in the appropriate way. After that player has taken their appropriate drinks and sobriety point penalties for the act, then there is a market phase that everybody is able to participate in. Players look at their bar tab and how many drinks they have, and they choose to either buy cards from the deck or to recharge drinks on their bar tab. And how that happens, let's say, well, since it's the beginning of the game, I'm going to buy. I have 10 drinks total to spend, so I'm going to buy. So I flip over the top card of the deck, and it is number 3. So that is how many drinks it is going to cost me to buy this item. So I go ahead and adjust my character card down here to 7. And that's good. But let's say it's a subsequent turn and I need to recharge. Let's say I'm all the way down here at like 4 drinks on my bar tab. I need to recharge because I need more drinks to make sure that I don't go down past that. Because if I do, oops, hitting the camera. If I do, I can't buy any more items and get them to use them against other players. So let's say I have to recharge. I'll go ahead and turn over the top card. Oh. 2. So this card, I do not get to keep this. This one will go into the discard since I am recharging, but I will get back 2 of my drinks and go up to 6. After that, play passes to the beginning of the next round after everybody has bought or recharged. So at the beginning of the next round, everybody gets to roll the dice to see who's the highest roller, except the person that went first the last turn and gained a level. They do not get to participate in the rolling. So everybody else would roll, and whoever's highest would get to go first. They would gain a level, and then read out their character's ability card, and such, and play goes on until somebody reaches level 5. And that is the basics of how you play BARPIG. It's a wonderful party and drinking game. Now, you don't have to be drinking when you're playing this game while drinking alcohol. You can drink just soda or water or what have you, but we had a wonderful time. I brought this to the convention with us. We played it with the X crew that I have in the Bay Area when I go to conventions. We played it with just regular friends hanging out drinking. They all love this game. It's a great game to bust out. It's nice and quick and simple. The rules aren't that hard. I should note that the sober points, you get to slide the card sideways for sober points, and whenever you get to -4 sober points that way. So you get to keep track up and down for levels, side to side, up and down. It does take a little bit of dexterity. Make sure you don't mess up your cards, especially when you're getting pretty wasted while drinking, but it's good. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the things we get in the After Hours Kickstarter. First, I want to show you like all the characters. You get a lot of characters in the original game that Kickstarter. You get a whole bunch of characters. I just throw them all out there. Before the After Hours expansion, you get a whole new cast of characters, and there's a lot of them here, like the VOD cleric, and a lot of new abilities. Force Charity. Select 2 players who must keep giving each other compliments in turn whilst maintaining eye contact. Whoever can't make a compliment immediately, or if the VOD cleric judges that a compliment was not given, loses 2 drinks and a sober point. We got the medium right there. It's got the Shroud of Uncertainty. We got the Revenger right here. It's got the quick draw. You choose an object in the room. All players draw 1 item card and try to get their card as close to the object by flicking it from their hip. Players that's furthest away loses 1 drink and 1 sober point. So you got to just flick it. And you got a whole new cast of characters for this expansion, as well as a whole stack of item cards. Going through a bunch of new ones, like the Hateful Fan of Deception. That's 1 drink right there. You can change the value of dice roll by 1 immediately after it's rolled. The Last Rites of the Reinforced Goblin, 2 drinks right there. Blindly steal an item from another player, keep it or discard that item. Look at that goblin right there. Oh, poor goblin. You got the Mysteriously Discarded Half-Eaten Kebab right there. That looks disgusting. It restores 1 sober point, as that sandwich should. And you got some old favorites like Snake Eyes that cost 4. Choose the outcome of any dice immediately after it's rolled. But you have a new card. You don't have that time to go home card. Now you have the Kick 'em Out, which basically does the same thing, except you choose a player. That player loses their character and takes a new one, not in play at random. They keep their level drinks. So it's not you that has to go home. It's you kicking them out. So we got a lot of good new stuff in the After Hours campaign, so make sure you check it out. It's on Kickstarter now. I'm Logan for Logan Chops Reviews. We'll see you next time. Happy gaming.